Hey, Melanie.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. Good morning, I guess.
Good evening.
Thank you.
So we're going to be going over the interrogation of Stephanie Lazarus, right?
Yep. Yay. This is so crazy. I love your perfect thumbnail there with her scared face. Scared
Yeah,
face in the cab.
the contrast, right? The picture of how she wanted the public to see her in
Yeah.
her uniform, you know,
And
and
looks like, I wonder if that's when she graduated or something, because it looks like there's a bunch of other people in the background. I don't know.
yeah,
I
it's got
wonder if
that
that's
vibe,
before.
doesn't it?
Yeah, like graduation. So I'm guessing that's before she did everything.
Shall we do a quick little update on Sarah Boone before we get into this?
Yeah, if you like. I'll
Okay.
take your lead.
So Sarah Boone has fired, or she's lost her lawyer, right? She's lost her defense team,
They couldn't
and
handle it.
they couldn't handle they couldn't handle Sarah, and
I'm guessing, right? We're guessing. We should say,
yeah,
right? Like we just, for some reason, there's been a fight. Yeah.
yeah, she may be hard to work with. But she wrote a letter to the judge because there was going to be a hearing a few days ago, right? And Sarah wanted to be present, right, um, to be there and to be able to respond to some of the questions and things, right? And
It's just surprising. I would think she wouldn't. I don't know. Well, I would. The letter came across like she was really enthusiastic to like make it. Like, yeah. Are you gonna show it or no? You don't. Okay. Sorry.
yeah,
I didn't
so
know if you were.
I wanted to um, just play a little bit of um, a video from a mentor lawyer going over the letter, and I've got a few problems with the way he presented it, right? Um, let me just find it.
Sarah Boone.
Because I think if you're on YouTube and you're presenting yourself as kind of semi-professional, a lawyer or an ex-lawyer, and you kind of want to be objective, right, when you're covering true crime on YouTube. Um, and I didn't like the way this was read out. Let me
Hello,
just
everybody. Mentor
present
Lawyer
this here.
here.
This is the letter here.
In a few hours, Sarah Boone is going to have a hearing in her case, and her attorney, Mr. Padilla, is trying to withdraw from the case. In the motion he filed to withdraw and for a continuance, he cited irreconcilable differences with his client. Now, Mr. Padilla is familiar to those people who have been following this channel for a while. He was the co-counsel.
Yeah, so he's reading out a letter that Sarah Boone has written to the judge because there's been a problem with her lawyer and they've parted ways, and she's just emphasizing her surprise at this, and she wants to be there at the hearing that's coming up. But just listen to the sarcasm in the presentation that he portrays of this letter from Sarah Boone.
Counsel for Sigfredo Garcia in the first trial regarding the murder of Dan Markel. He was co-counsel to Mr. Sam Zanganet. They were both attorneys from South Florida who came up to Tallahassee to defend. But back in July, Mr. Klee, an incredibly confusing matter. I'm writing in regards to the requested withdrawal, most importantly, of my attorney, Mauricio Padilla, and his/my team, filed on April 18, 2022, along with a request for a continuance. Forgive me if this is the wrong approach in contacting you directly, but I wanted you to be fully aware of the magnitude of my shock and disappointment in the betrayal of Mr. Padilla, as I have not in any way by anyone been provided any explanation for the aforementioned withdrawal, etc. I, unfortunately, had to learn of these documents from, by my former husband when calling to speak with my son. After making a commitment to me as my attorney over the past 2 years and 2 months ongoing to fully and sufficiently represent me,
Oh, it's so hard to pay attention to him.
believe we were a team. I am completely blindsided, nonetheless, in how this was and is being handled by a professional. I do not understand. With that being said, Your Honor, I am graciously requesting to be included and present, please, at this hearing on Friday, April.
Okay, Melanie. That is not the way to present that, right? It's
No.
so he's playing to what he believes is a gallery, right?
Well, I can't follow it because of the way he even talks. Like, I want to lose interest. I can't handle it. You have to really pay attention. I want to know this information, and he reads it like I can't even listen to it. And so it's easier for me just to pause the screen and read the letter because
Yeah.
he talks every word like ridiculously long to take a sentence, like I can't pay attention to the actual story that the letter. I'm trying to listen
Yeah,
to
I
it.
mean, to me, her letter is absolutely fine. I mean, she's in a horrible position. I think there's just you can't you can't project that kind of exaggerated tone onto the letter. You know, I believe she did not mean to kill him, and I think a lot of people agree with that, right? It was the trouble is she comes across so terribly as a horrible person, right? But
Yeah.
you cannot. You have to divide that from the fact that she did not mean to kill this guy,
Well,
and she's in
we
this horrible.
agree. Sorry.
We agree on that, yeah.
We agree that she didn't mean to kill him. We disagree on murder and manslaughter. But I
Yeah.
think you might change your mind if it comes out that she was kicking him or throwing him down the stairs. But I still do agree that she didn't mean it. It was a shock to her that she did that. It wasn't intended.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hate to
Um,
use that word.
just like what we're talking about there before we came on air, it's this whole thing about whether she had him in the suitcase upstairs and push him down the stairs. You know.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll see. Hopefully. I mean, it sounds like I think she's gonna get this trial put off. It didn't happen, right? I'm pretty sure that hearing didn't happen. as far as I haven't been able to find anything on it. So
Oh,
it
really?
was supposed to, yeah, I think it was supposed to be Friday, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't, I don't think it happened, but I do agree. And then he's so sarcastic. There's other you want him to be kind of like professional and like explain to you the law and you, so you can kind of learn something instead of being told that this chick is already guilty and she hasn't even
Yeah.
been tried yet.
That's the
You know,
impression, right? It's like that's the impression he's given, right? That this person is guilty already.
yeah.
I just don't like that kind of tone.
And even that
Uh,
it's going to be a slam dunk because it might not even be that. I think it's going to be hard for them to explain to a jury that that's second degree murder and not manslaughter, you know.
if they go
So
for yeah, if they go for second degree, then they're going to lose. She will
yeah,
be found not guilty of second degree, definitely.
maybe. But I don't know. It's pretty wild over there. The people in Florida,
You
they have
reckon?
death. Yeah, like they love that death penalty and stuff. So there's our girl.
So here's our girl, as you say, Stephanie Lazarus. She needs no introduction, really, does she?
No, a lot. I mean, yeah, she's pretty famous, right? As far as true crime lovers, I think she's pretty like top there.
So, who is Stephanie Lazarus? She is
Alexi.
she's pretty high up, right, in law enforcement.
Yep.
She's I think was she the head of the art theft department
Yeah,
in
art
LA?
theft department. It was her and another detective. They were the only ones. But who knew there was an art theft department? But I guess in LA, you know, they got all the rich people and stuff. So, but it was like a real prestigious job.
Yeah,
Like, how did she get that high? Being crazy.
yeah. So this is like is it 10, 15 years after she killed um the girl of um
Oh,
of the guy that she was obsessed with.
you mean when they do this? When did
Yeah.
the killing happen? Okay, so this I think was 2009 or 8, and the murder happened in on February 24th, 1986.
All
So
right. So
yeah, so around about what did I
but
say? It was 2009. I thought
okay,
it was
so
about like yeah, 25 years,
20
26
years.
years.
Yeah.
Oh, 2008 is when they got the saliva and had it tested. That's when they found out it was female DNA. And then after that, she was arrested on June 5th. So this is June 5th, 2009.
Yeah. So they had presumed that um the murder of Sherry was due to a burglary. They'd put out a couple of photo pics of suspects that were in the area at the time, and the case was basically closed. I think they just couldn't get anywhere on it. And then 20 years later, I think her Sherry's father kept pushing and pushing. I think,
Yep.
um, and then they opened up the case again, and the two detectives that are in this interrogation went out to meet her somewhere random, and they got DNA from like a straw or something she was drinking, right?
Yep. She was out with her daughter at a Costco, which is just like a warehouse store, and they followed her around. They sat down and got some lunch, and when they left, they picked up the straw from the cup that she was using, and that's when they got her. Her and
So
her
they all
husband had, adopted a 3-year-old daughter, and it's
so
terrible. Like,
so they kind of know already, right, that she's guilty as they sit down here. Yeah.
oh yeah, they totally did. Yeah, they already it was already tested against it, and they absolutely knew they were gonna arrest her at it. And we were talking about how it's a weird thing. They got her into this place for the interview. Um, they had to go through like a lot. What is it, like a lockup or whatever, so they can get her gun off of her and
Yeah.
make it all secret, lying to her, saying that they're gonna talk to her about an art case. And that's
Yeah.
right, but I don't know.
Just to get her there.
And then also that her husband worked in the same general area. He was also some kind of, detective there. And so they had to do all this behind their backs and keep it real quiet.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know her husband was in the same kind of occupation.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to find stuff about the husband. So I don't know. I should have looked to see what kind of detective he was, but it's just odd. Yeah, poor guy, he thinks he's very to a normal person.
Okay, let's start this here, and a lot of things happen really quickly. She thinks she's sitting down about some weird, like, art theft case, and she suddenly realizes that it's not about that.
I'm not sure. Stephanie, I don't know if you know my partner. Hey, right.
Hi.
Stars, nice to
Yeah,
meet
see
you.
you guys.
How's it going?
Good.
Milling around. Well, have a seat. What this is, I didn't want to bring this up in your squadron. Oh, no, it's fine. I think
I
we're
use
good.
that recorder to, let me just turn off. You're gonna bring somebody in, right?
Yeah, well, I can explain the whole
That's
thing too.
fine.
I didn't want to talk about this in the squadron
that's
because
okay.
I don't know who people are listening.
That's true.
And if we go to my side, everybody's always wondering what everybody else
yeah,
is
sure,
doing.
no problem.
Okay. But like we're talking about being busy and stuff, we've been assigned a case that we've been looking at. Okay. It's a new case, and as we're doing the case, there's some notes to see as far as your name being mentioned.
Okay.
Do you know John Rutten?
John Bruton. John Rutten?
Rutten.
Oh, yeah, I went to school with him.
You did?
Yeah.
How long did you know him?
Can you imagine how she feels right now, hearing that name?
John Ritten. She knows. Yeah, she's trying to pretend like it's some far memory, and she hasn't thought of this guy in forever.
Yeah.
I wish they got her face right. That's the biggest bummer of the whole thing. Just could get that like one thing, but you could still see everything. You could still see like her shoulders start going crazy, and she's a minute. She knows what's up, right? Do you think?
Yeah, I think she's had a shotgun to the stomach right there. As soon as
Yeah.
that name came up,
Yeah, like
John
when you.
John Rutten, John Rutten.
Oh no! Oh no!
Gosh, I went to school in, let's see, went to UCLA in 1978. I started and, met him at school at the dorms.
Mm-hmm. Were you guys friends, close friends?
Yeah, we're very close friends. I mean, what's this all about?
Well, it's a case we're working on. It involves John, and in there, some of the statements we reviewed, there's notes and stuff that he knew you and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we good friends. lived in the dorms for 2 years.
You guys lived in the same dorm?
Yeah,
Or, okay.
yeah, Dykstra.
Okay. Were you guys just friends or anything else? Or
Yeah, we were good friends.
yeah. Was there ever any relationship or anything that developed between you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we dated.
Uh-huh.
You know, I mean, what's this all about?
Well, it's relating to his wife.
Okay,
Okay. Did you know her?
not really. I mean, I knew that he got married years ago.
Uh-huh. Did you ever meet her?
God, I don't know.
Do you know who she was or anything?
Well, let me think. God, it's been a long time ago. I may have met her. Geez, you know.
Yeah. Well, let me see. Let me ask you. You said you dated John. How long did you guys date?
I mean, what are you guys? Is this something? I mean, you said I was going to interview somebody about art, and how you guys are.
Here's
Your thoughts?
I always love this part. Like, I don't know, man. She knows what's going on. How did she not know what's going on?
She's in a major panic attack right now.
Scrambling, and it's so like, say you had of ex and you knew that there were significant other was murdered. When they bring up, oh, it's about her wife, the way she says okay, she might as well be saying whatever, like she don't care. You think that she knows, like she says she knows that she got murdered. It doesn't have like any like, oh, did you find out anything about her murder? You know what I mean? Something like that. She's just like, whatever. Like, it sounds like she's just saying, so what? You're talking about life.
So this person got murdered. Yeah,
and she don't even care.
To me, like, who cares? Pretty much.
She should know. Yeah, and being a cop, she should have known right away, like, that they're gonna be talking about her murder. Like, so stupid.
I mean, Stephanie, here's the situation. It's basically, we knew that this, when we saw this in this chrono, that maybe, there was some relationship there. That's what the chrono seemed to indicate. And we didn't want to come up to you at your desk and ask those kinds of questions or do anything. You know how up there people can see what's going on if you go into an interview room or people are in there getting supplies. Okay. So we wanted to afford you some privacy, some confidentiality to talk about this, because we thought it might be, something, you're married to someone else, obviously, and so forth, and that you may not want to, talk about these things in that setting where someone, we don't want the rumor mill or gossip or any of that kind of stuff to start.
That's fine. I mean,
so we did this just as a means to try and speak to you in just a confidential place where where your business isn't out there for other people in your division to know about.
God, that's been a million years ago. I mean, what year is it now? 2009. I mean, I graduated in 82. 82, yeah. We dated. I dated other guys. I'm sure he dated other girls.
Well, let me ask you, roughly how long would you say you guys dated?
Oh, geez. I couldn't even say. I mean, I started school there in 78. Mm-hmm. I started UCLA in 1978. Mm-hmm. I graduated in 82. I don't even remember what year he graduated, if it was a year or two before me.
Okay.
I think he was a little bit older than I was. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't remember if he was born, let's say I'm born in 1960. I don't know if he was born in 58 or 59. I mean, I knew his parents. I knew his sister. His brother went to Northridge. Mm-hmm. His sister spent the night at my house before. Obviously, I spent the night at his house before. He probably spent the night at my house before. I don't.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, because from what you're telling me, you guys dated while you were in college together, right?
Yeah, and probably after college. I can't. Geez, I'm trying to think when I met my husband. I met my husband in. When did I meet Scott? Let's see. I was teaching DARE because I met Scott when I was teaching DARE up in Oregon. But we had long stopped, dating before that.
So you haven't talked to him for a long time?
Oh, I think I haven't talked to him in a long time. I couldn't even tell you when the last time I talked to him. I met Scott, I'm thinking in 92 maybe, April of 92. It was,
Scott being your husband.
yeah, I'm trying to think. I was teaching DARE. Let's see, what year is this? We'll be married. I got married in 1996. I think I met Scott in 92. Prior to that, I couldn't tell you how long I had talked to John prior to that.
But since you met your husband, Scott, you hadn't talked to him?
I mean, he may have called me once or twice before we got married.
Right.
Geez, I moved to Simi in 1994 because I lost my house in the earthquake.
Oh, really?
Quite honestly, I probably keep in contact with a few people from the dorms. We all lived on the 10th floor, and there's about 3 or 4 people I keep in contact with. There's probably like 6 or 8 of us that were all really close.
Mm-hmm. And who are those people?
Oh, geez. Diana Basta. People I still keep. I haven't been in contact with her in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's this all about? I mean,
well, let me ask you, what?
She's trying so hard to kind of minimize the actual relationship that she had with this guy, right?
Yep.
As if it was just some distant partnership at one time, but it's long gone now.
Yeah, she later on she claims that she didn't even love him that much, and when they were dating, so he thought it was just a casual like hookup thing, and that's what she was playing it off like that's what it was. But in the meantime, she didn't want she obviously didn't want just casual, but she got in with his family, and she made friends like with his sister and the brother. She goes and takes like a bunch of she goes and like takes photos of his brother was also an athlete in college. And got all in with the family, and then writes the mom letters like I'll do whatever John says, like trying to get the family involved so he'll stay with her. It's gross. Super gross. God. Like you, right? You. I wouldn't want her talking to my mom. What?
Yeah, totally.
The relationship between you and John.
It was kind of a weird relationship. I mean, we dated. I can't say that he was my boyfriend. I don't know that he would consider me his girlfriend.
Yeah, you were obsessed with him.
We dated. We did things. I played sports in college. He played basketball. His brother played basketball. We just, it just didn't work out. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It was like I went out with other guys, saw other guys, and went on lots of vacations.
And once you guys split, were you guys still friends, or kind of,
I
problems? Is it friendly, not friendly?
No, I don't think it was not friendly. I mean, we were friendly. I know that we went to Hawaii at one point. Another friend of mine who's actually dying right now went to Hawaii with us at some point.
Remember roughly when that was?
Geez, let me think. I'd have to check my pictures, or I'd say I'd ask Greg, but my friend Greg is like dying of liver cancer right now. Yeah, I mean,
And you were saying that
check my pictures. It's 2009 now.
Had you ever met his wife?
I may have.
Do you remember her name or anything, or? Or what she did for a living, or where she worked, or anything about her?
Well, I think I'm going to say that I think she was a nurse. I mean, I can't even remember how he said he met her. I mean, I mean, it's been so long ago.
Well, let me ask you, did you go to their wedding,
No, I didn't go to their wedding. No, did not go to their wedding. Couldn't even tell you what year we got married. I mean, it's been a million years ago.
Do you ever remember if you ever talked to her? Because it seems like a lot of you who were at went to school at UCLA, you guys kind of were friends during and after school. So I don't know if you guys still associated afterwards once he was married or anything.
With him?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I would say, the people that were on the dorm floor, we'd have get-togethers. There's probably like 4 or 5. I don't think he ever came. I don't think, no, it was mostly girls, a girl named Smita, Diane. There's 2 Dianes, but the one Diane, I don't think she ever came. I kind of lost contact with her. We were good friends on the floor. I mean, I don't, again, I mean, what, I don't understand why you're talking about some guy I dated a million years ago.
Well, do you know what happened to his wife?
Yeah, I know she got killed.
What did you hear about that?
She so casually brings up the fact that she got killed.
Yeah.
Like, why wasn't that, obviously in her mind at the very beginning of this when they brought up her name, right?
Yeah, or why hasn't she shown more concern over that? Because she knows that this girl's been killed, and her whole tone of voice to me just sounds like she's being put off and inconvenienced like this whole time. You think she would have been smarter to be a little more concerned sounding, but she don't care. So
that's what's kind of interesting about this, right? Because on the face of it, you would assume that someone like her that has a lifetime of experience working in law enforcement would be pretty good in a circumstance like this, right?
yeah.
Having to basically lie their way out of a situation like this. But she's the worst. Like, she's the worst ever at trying to hide her guilt, right?
Yeah. And I think it's because how you said she's got a lot of that Russell Williams belief that she's not going to get caught because of the position that she's in. They're not even going to look at her.
Yeah. I think so much time had gone by that I think she just assumed that she was in the clear, 10, 15 years after the fact. And she was in a respectable position. I think she just,
Mm-hmm.
however she dealt with it, right?
It's just blunt. You think she would know, even just to show a little more concern in a positive way, not like sounding like they're bothering her, put her out. What are you talking about? Like her whole tone the whole time is just like, ugh, just get it over. Let's just go. Like, it was a million years ago. It's a million years ago, but she remembers like odd things they'll just throw out. I think they're doing it on purpose, right? Because she'll be like, I don't know. And then they'll say, well, what road was he living on? And she'll say it like, boom, like she knows it right away. So she's not like stupid. I don't know. With that, she would have, as soon as they started getting into personal life stuff, she could have been like, hey, so I'm a cop and I know how this goes. You're talking about personal life stuff that was involving a murder. So I need to get a lawyer. Like right there, boom, it's over. And you don't sound shady.
Yeah, why didn't she just shut up and ask for a lawyer? I think she thought, I get the impression that she thought she'd had like a certain amount of weight in the in her department, in her occupation, that she could kind of get through this, right?
I don't know.
And it was only towards the end that she kind of realized that, okay, I need to get a lawyer.
I don't know. I think that like they're acting like the art department is above the murder people, and I don't know. To me, it seems like that. I think the murder detectives maybe should be getting paid a little more.
Yeah.
I saw a poster at work. I'm sure I spoke to him about it. I think I spoke to another friend of his about it.
And how did you first learn about that?
Jeez. Someone could have called me. I could have heard it at work. I I think at one point there may have been a flyer or something. I know a good friend of his.
Were you on the job back then when that happened?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm sure I was on the job. That's why I would have heard about it with the flyer. He had a good friend, Mike Boldrick, anyways, he may have lived in the dorms. I don't remember if that's how I met him. I may have talked to him. I mean, I don't remember how I heard. I mean, I don't even remember what year it was.
And you think you said you thought his wife was a nurse. Do you have any idea where she was working at the time, or did he ever mention that to you? Was it a hospital or a doctor's office?
I'm sure he must have mentioned it. Now that you're bringing that up, I think she worked at a hospital somewhere. And yeah, I may have met her at a hospital. I may have talked to her once or twice.
At a hospital?
Or more.
But being that you were kind of used to see John, was it everything okay between you guys? I mean, there was never anything uncomfortable or anything between you and her?
I don't know. I mean, it's been so many years. I mean, uncomfortable. I mean, I can't even remember if we had a conversation. I mean, I don't know. We may have. I may have seen her at his apartment. Uncomfortable. Geez, how many years ago was that? I don't even know what year she, got killed.
Where was his apartment?
On Roscoe.
Okay.
Yeah, Roscoe and east or west of DeSoto. Either east or west of DeSoto.
Do you know where he moved after? Did he move after he got married, or do you know? Or
I'm sure he did.
Did you know where he was living, or
somewhere in the valley?
Did you ever visit him and his wife?
No.
No, never went out to get together, dinners, anything of that nature.
No. Like I said, his sister used to come over. His sister had come to my place. I knew his brother because his brother played basketball at Northridge. In fact, I was just coming across some pictures that I just scanned from. I take a lot of photos, like 10,000, and I just did a service where I scanned everything. And I'd seen some pictures of his brother playing basketball.
You just put them all on your computer so you could have them accessible and do things with them?
Well, my partner is a big photo thing, and
she's trying as hard as possible to make her memories of this time seem so kind of natural and believable, right?
Yeah. but then it completely gets thrown off whenever they ask her something and she says it right away.
Something specific, yeah.
Yeah, like even that she remembers like the street, and then the cross street she even remembers. Like she's psycho. She knows where he lives like the whole time. She's got that address down. Plus she's a cop. Come on, she remembers. I don't know. This one, she's a lot of fun. Weirdo. Do you think she had friends?
So I spent a ton of time just scanning photos. I mean, I paid a company to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got photos of, his brother, his sister,
10,000 pictures?
Oh, yeah.
How long did that take them?
Months.
Now, what do they put that on I'm just curious myself. Do they put it on they get that all on one DVD? They don't need like a hard drive or anything?
No, there's I think 11 DVDs. Yeah, I don't even have time.
It's a series of DVDs that they put them on?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm
not that familiar with computer stuff, so that's why I was asking.
It's like 11 DVDs.
Oh, okay.
So, I haven't had a chance to go through them. You could go through and pick which ones you don't want. I don't have time to do that.
Right.
So like you said, did I don't think we ever socialized. He'd still call me. I can't say that I would. If he's married, I don't think that I would have called him. Maybe, who knows? I don't know. It's been a million years ago.
How long was John married before his wife died?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
And after his wife died, did you talk to him again or anything?
Yeah, I did talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to him, probably his parents, probably some other friends. I'm sure I talked to him.
Yeah.
But you're not sure where he moved to after he got married?
No idea. I mean,
Never went over to visit him or
I don't think.
meet
I
his
mean, I don't
wife, or-
think so. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think I did. I mean, I know he lived on Roscoe for a long, long time. I mean, I may know. I mean, he may have told me where they lived, somewhere in the valley. I mean, he may have said I lived over such and such, but I couldn't tell you specifically where.
But you don't remember specifically ever going over to visit him or visit them and wherever he moved when he left Roscoe?
I honestly, I don't know. I don't think so, but
Okay.
you know, I don't want to say no, I don't think so, and then he says, oh yeah, she came over for something, dropped something off. You know, I don't know.
So if you did go over there, just be like a quick thing, like you're saying, drop something off, or
maybe.
But you don't remember as far as like going there to have dinner or like a social, anything at the house, party?
Well, if you guys know something, I can't, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, but.
After John's wife died, you said you may have been talking to him. Did your relationship start up again?
I would say no. Again, can you give me a year? I mean, this is like 2009.
She died in 1986?
Yeah, I think it was 86.
1986.
Okay. Like I said, I'm faintly remembering that I went to Hawaii with my friend Greg. Greg and I got certified for scuba diving. And I'm thinking that John met us there, meaning Greg and I. That could have been, I got certified toward the end of 88, or I mean, 88, 89, because I got recertified again, and it had been like over 10 years, so I got recertified. My husband and I got recertified. And I'm pretty sure that John met us there. Again, I'd have to tell you what year it was. I'd have to look at my pictures. You know, and other than that, I can't even say. He may have called me, you know, at my home. I may have called him. I don't think he got together with our group.
I don't think after his wife's death.
Or even before, I don't. You know, we went to weddings together. You know,
did you?
I got pictures. Like I said, I couldn't tell you years. It's been a million years ago.
After he got married or whatever, were you dating anybody in particular?
And that was what year? 1986, you said?
I think he got married, yeah, in around 85, 86, something like that. Were you seeing anyone seriously, or?
God, I couldn't say.
Her face. Oh God, she does not want to hear that question, right?
No, he's just thinking. Can you
This
hear me
is a
okay? I don't
million
know.
years ago. Don't bring this up now.
Oh, just laughing at her face. Sorry, got distracted. She's just oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry.
She has no way to answer the questions, right?
Yes, and if I don't know, she's so smart. She should have asked for a lawyer. This one, I don't know.
Yeah.
Poor girl. I was gonna say, as far as when she's saying she doesn't remember if she's been there, she did show up one day to Sherry and John's house or apartment, condo, whatever, and asked him to wax her skis. And
That's
instead
right.
of
Yeah.
instead of being a man, he's like, all right, and he did it. And finally, she was there for hours. Then Sherry finally had to kick her out. Then she came back, later, like maybe like a day or two later. I can't remember exactly, but she came back later to get the stupid, skis, and it was just Sherry there who told her that if she wasn't going to stand up to her, I mean, if John wasn't going to stand up to Stephanie, she was going to stand up to Stephanie. This is stuff that she told her dad later on. She told her dad everything, apparently, except for Stephanie's name. And so that's it. This is sad. They could have caught her so easy.
Yeah.
Right away.
She tried to stand up to this cycle, but she was not going to be stopped, right?
Yeah,
Seems
she
that
just
way.
kept
She
coming.
was just
Yeah,
obsessed.
comes at her at work. Comes at her at the house. I mean, at what point is she really like about John, or is it about winning that battle for John? Because I think for her it was more of that than love.
Yeah.
I mean, what? I don't know. At least, yeah, that's shameful.
Yeah.
It's just shameful. How embarrassing if it was for him. If she really does that all for just a guy. He's just so stupid.
I know, right?
I would be embarrassed of myself to
Hmm.
be like that crazy.
Geez, I'm trying
I
to
know.
think. I mean, you know, I dated a fireman,
What was his name?
Mike Arndt, and I'm trying to think.
Was he
when I met him.
LAFD or?
He was LAFD.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think when I went. I probably met Mike. I went to Devonshire. Let's see. I left Hollywood in '80. I worked Hollywood '84 to '85, I think, and then I went to Devonshire, and that's when I met Mike, and some other firemen. And
What, the station next door?
no, actually,
Because I used to work Hollywood, so I was just wondering if it's the station next door.
It was when I worked Devonshire. I met Mike.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I'm trying to think. I went to Devonshire in '85, and I'm thinking that I would have met him probably sometime shortly after I went to Devonshire, because I actually met his buddies at a fire. And then Mike and I dated, just really kind of casually. And we remained good friends.
You still in touch with him, or?
Unfortunately, he passed away.
Oh, really?
He died he had a car crash. He did race cars, and he went heading into a wall. I couldn't tell you what year that was, but he passed away. He was in a coma, and they pulled the plug.
Right.
Seems like anyway. So, I couldn't even tell you what year. I'm thinking I went to Devonshire in '85, and I know I met the guys because it was kind of a funny incident of how I met them, and that's how I remember. It was sometime probably '85.
Right.
If you specifically, I don't even know if they remember. The other two are now married to somebody else, because I kind of all three. I mean,
did you kind of socialize, like when you were out with Mike? Did those guys come out with you too? Was it kind of like, did you do stuff with his friends, or?
Well, there were three. There was two firemen, Eric and Gary. I met them first. Then they introduced me to Mike. So that's how I met Mike, and Mike and I dated.
Mm-hmm.
So, and not, I wouldn't even say, I couldn't even tell you for how long, because then it would say we decided, it wasn't working out, and we'd be better friends. And, he introduced me, I think, to some other guy who now is on LAPD, Randy Cordobas.
I don't think I know
He's
him.
a detective. He's got a twin brother who's on the fire department. That's how I met Randy, because he had a twin brother, identical twin on the fire department.
Okay.
And
wait, you and
I dated him when I couldn't tell you. It was before he came on the job.
Before Randy came on the job?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And that was, I'm trying to remember if Mike may have. I'm trying to remember. Mike may have dated a girl that he dated.
Okay, Melanie, let's try, as hard as it is, to put ourselves in her position right now, right? She has somehow come to terms with the fact that she has murdered someone. and she's gone for 10, 15 years with the knowledge of the fact that she's a murderer, right?
Okay.
And she's somehow able to live with that. She's able to go to sleep at night, rest her head, and go to sleep.
Okay.
How does someone do that?
I do not know.
That is the question.
Um,
How does someone do that and not like fall to pieces?
I think she saw it as a win. She doesn't. I really don't think she thinks
But she
about
didn't.
it.
She didn't even win the guy, though, did she? I think
No.
she dated him afterwards. This is the thing that kind of makes him look bad, right? Is that after this murder occurred, that he started dating her, right?
Yeah. He told
Um,
them to look at her,
yeah,
and then later on, yeah, they go to Hawaii, like she's talking about. He did call the police. He talked to the cops when it happened and told them to look at my ex-girlfriend. He didn't do
yeah,
anything until he was ready to go to this Hawaii trip with her. Then he calls the cops. He didn't call them at any point, like what's going on with my wife's murder. He called
yeah,
when he's going to go to Hawaii with her. Hey, by the way, did you clear her? And then they're like, oh, yeah, whatever. Nothing's
yeah.
going on with her. So then he goes to Hawaii, and that's it. That's all the contact that he had with the police the whole
Right.
time. Scumbag,
Okay.
as far as I'm concerned. Like, that's just a scumbag. I'm sorry, whatever. And if he even had any kind of doubt, why was he doing that? What a whack. But
Yeah,
whatever.
I know. I know.
He's a victim too, I guess. But it makes it hard to feel bad for him. I feel worse for her parents than anything.
Let's continue.
That sounds too weird. Randy may have dated a gal that Mike was dating, and then Randy broke up with that gal. I couldn't even tell you the gal's name, if I'm even thinking of the story right. And then I started dating Randy.
Yeah.
Oh. So again, I mean, not like I was a huge floozy or anything, but
No, but
I
mean, a lot of times, right? At least from my female partners that I've had, it's hard dating guys that aren't involved in kind of our circle, right? Because some guys are intimidated by women police officers.
Randy was like an engineer at the time. He was like some kind of an engineer
on a rig, on a fire truck.
No, an engineer.
A professional engineer.
Yeah, and then I think he lost a job and then came on the department.
I see.
So.
But getting back to some stuff, as far as you recall, after John's wife died, did you start a relationship again with John, or dating casually, or anything like that?
Like I said, he met Greg and I in Hawaii. Okay.
That was something you guys kind of planned together, like go as a group, or you ran into him? Or?
No, I think that obviously I must have talked to him, and I said, hey, I'm going to Hawaii with my buddy Greg. We're scuba. We just got certified scuba diving. We're going to be in Hawaii. Hey, if you want to come and join us, come join us.
Right.
And I think that's what it was.
Okay.
I may have asked some other people to as well. What island did we go to? I think the Big Island in Kauai. He either met us on the Big Island or Kauai. I'm thinking of Greg and I might have scuba dived a lot on the Big Island as well as Kauai. I don't remember which island. Again, I'd have to look at my pictures. I traveled a lot on my vacations. I mean, I was always gone for at least a month. And I would go places, and I would either run into people or, meet people.
And Greg, this Greg we're talking about, he was like someone you were dating, or just a buddy? Or?
No, you know what? I would say we started out probably just buddies, and either I was with somebody or he was with somebody. But it was kind of like we ended up just kind of being like brother and sister. And maybe he wanted something more, but you know, it never, you know, worked out, but we did things together. You know, I consider him, I've probably known him, let's see, I've been on the job almost 26 years. I've probably known Greg 23, 24 years.
Does he still talk to him?
Oh yeah, he's dying of liver cancer right now. Yeah.
Cancer. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, you know, I consider him a good friend. You know, you know, I don't know what to tell you on that.
I mean, when you heard about John's wife being killed, I mean, what was your reaction? I mean, when you thought you heard about it, what, through a friend or in a bulletin or
Either
something?
a friend or a bulletin. I called the family. I called maybe some of his friends that I knew, and I mean, obviously it shocked you if I heard it at work, you know, which I may have. I faintly remember a bulletin going around. Either that or somebody called me. I also don't remember.
Right.
And then I probably called his family. I don't know initially. I can't say if I initially spoke to him or not. I honestly don't remember. I may have said to somebody, "Hey, have him call me if he wants to talk," and then he may have done that. You know.
Do you know what the circumstances were regarding her death?
Geez, let me think back. Geez, I don't know if it was, you know, if it was a burglary or something. Yeah, it's been so many years. I can faintly think that I may have saw a flyer.
Yeah.
May have had her picture on it. You know, that's why I say, if somebody had called me, I may not have known what her last name was. I may have. I mean, maybe if you told me, I would remember it.
Do you remember the first name?
Shelley, Sherry. I don't know, something maybe, you know. Like I said, it's been so many years, and
from all the years, as far as you can remember, do you remember ever talking to her?
Well, I said earlier, you know, I mean, I may have, you know, I may have talked to her. You know.
You mentioned a hospital, maybe. You may have talked to her at a hospital.
Yeah, I may have, you know, I'm thinking back now.
She tries very hard here to make out that they had a very fleeting sort of relationship. Like, she never spoke to her really, but she has to finally sort of admit the fact that she went to the hospital and confronted her, right?
Yeah. She went to the hospital dressed all like a floozy. They'd say that she came all like, you know, ready to go. I don't know why you would want to dress up like that for your rival like that. It's kind of weird. And I can't imagine she was very hot. Because, I don't know, she's odd. To me, it's weird that guys would even, like, want to hook up with her unless I just think horrible things, so, because she's crazy, so I shouldn't, like, judge her. It's just always shocking, you know, like, that she just gets away with it. And she is pretty good about, because, I mean, as many times as I watch it, sometimes they'll ask her a question and she just goes on for crazy. Like, next thing you know, she's talking about the earthquake and 86 and this and that I forget what did they ask her? Like, I can't even remember what they asked this lady. So, but you know, those cops are trained to not forget. It's just got to be like, wow. She's just going up on, you know, all kinds of crazy things. And all they said was, did you ever meet her? Like,
yeah.
silly like that.
You guys are bringing up all these whole memories.
No, it kind of dusts off the cobwebs.
You know, I mean, geez.
Jeez.
I'm thinking that because, I mean, he would date other people, I would date other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, you know, at one point, I mean, he may have been dating her, or I don't know, maybe he was married. I don't even remember. And I'm like, you know what? Why are you calling me if you're either dating her or living with her or married to her? Because I honestly don't remember the time frame. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, come on, knock it off. And I'm thinking I may have gone to her and say, hey, you know what, is he dating you? He's bothering me. And so I'm thinking that we had a conversation about that. One or two, maybe. It could have been three. I don't want to say I had 3 conversations with her.
Like at her work or at their house or.
No, I'm thinking that he obviously must have told me where she worked. I'm thinking it was a hospital somewhere in LA. And I could have been, again, what year was that? Where was I working? I'm trying to think of when did you say they got married?
I don't know. I think it was like in 85 or 86 or something like that. We just kind of picked this up. We don't know a lot about it.
I could have been working in Hollywood, it sounds like, if that's where I was working. So I could have said, okay, well, and I went and talked to her, and just said, hey, you know what, if he's dating you, he's keeps calling me, why don't you tell him to knock it off or whatever? And, because I probably would have told him to knock it off.
You would have told John.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I would have said, hey, and again.
But you wanted to tell her too? You wanted them both to know?
Yeah, if you're getting called, and I'm faintly remembering when Scott moved in with me in 1993, sometime in 93, because I met Scott in April of 92. I was teaching DARE up in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
He moved down. In fact, he may have moved down in 92. 92 or 93. There was a big earthquake. No, when was the big earthquake? No, 94.
94, yeah.
So I think Scott might have moved in 93, sometime in 93. Excuse me. I haven't had my breakfast yet. And so, excuse me. And so I faintly recall that John may have called a few times, and I'm like, hey, he goes, look, can you talk or something? I'm like, no, I can't talk. I've got, I'm living with somebody.
Right.
And that could have been a few times. It could have been once, could have been twice, could have been 3 times. Yeah, I don't know,
And that's during the period of time of the earthquake that you're.
Well, no, probably after Scott moved in. I think I met Scott in April of 92.
Oh, okay, right before.
April of 92, because I stopped teaching DARE. I think I stopped teaching DARE sometime in 92.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say that you may have, that you talked to his wife, said, hey, or I don't know if it was, I guess it wasn't his wife at that time, girlfriend or whatever. And
yeah, I don't know if it was his wife or his girl. I mean, quite honestly, I don't even remember.
When you said like, hey, he's calling me, he needs to knock it off or what have you. I mean, was that civil? Was there?
No, there was not. I don't think there was anything. If the conversation lasted a few minutes, so I can't even remember. And what is it like? We went out to lunch or anything.
Right, but there was no like arguments or fights or it didn't get heated or anything like that.
Not that I recall. No, I mean, I would think that would stand out. I would think. Now again, that's not standing out in my mind.
So you didn't have any problems with her then?
No.
You didn't have any issues with her?
No, I mean.
But let me ask you. It seems like you didn't have any issue. Now, did she have an issue with you as far as because now you're telling her, hey, tell them to stop calling. Now, she's like, you figure she'd be threatened by you.
I don't know. I mean.
From what you remember, as far as when you talked to her, maybe you didn't take it as serious, but maybe did she? Maybe she was bugging.
You mean like was she throwing things at me or something, or?
Well, no, just as far as you're trying to explain, like, hey, have them stop calling me. Stop playing games.
I tell you, if the conversation, I couldn't even tell you how long the conversation. If you said, did it last a half an hour? Did it last 3 minutes? Did it last 20 minutes? I can't even remember. It's been so long ago.
You just remember talking to her, telling her.
Yeah, and that's why you said, how many times you talked to her? I don't know how many times I talked to her. Maybe it was once, maybe it was twice, maybe it was 3 times. I honestly don't know.
Right.
I don't know what year it was. If he said, I met her in such and such year, I'd go, okay, well, I don't even know what year you met her. I graduated from UCLA in 1982. Okay, I graduated in 82. Like I said, I don't know if he graduated. I know he was a little older than I was, so I don't know if he graduated a year before or 2 years before, because people are on different, either on the 4-year program or the 5-year program.
What year did you come on the job?
83.
Oh, so almost pretty much immediately after you got out of school?
Yeah, I worked at a law firm for a year, and then came on the job. But anyway, in regards to seeing him, not seeing him, we went to friends' weddings that were, from UCLA. I may have gone to some of his friends' weddings from where he worked. He may have gone to things with me. I mean, I don't know how many times we went to do things, or didn't do things.
Right.
Like I said, his sister. I know his sister. His brother, his sister, I know stayed at my townhouse a number of times. I couldn't tell you how many times.
Right.
I would watch his brother, I should take pictures at a basketball game or two.
Where was your townhouse at?
In Granada Hills, below the Odyssey.
Yeah, she turned up at the hospital where Sherry's working and made an absolute showdown of a situation, like trying to chew her out basically in front of everyone that she was working in front of.
Right. That's why that's why she has to say maybe that happened. I'm kind of remembering because there was so many
a
witnesses.
vague memory.
Yeah. She's got to be like, yeah, but I don't remember. Because there's probably a million witnesses. And how horrible to be just all of a sudden, you're at work and everything's cool. And then this lady comes and makes a scene and everyone knows that Sherry just got married. I'm sure she was loud about it. How embarrassing in so many ways.
Yeah, I know, right?
And that I like thinking that she was somebody's dare teacher. That's crazy to be like. I wonder where these little kids are, because do you know what the dare program was? They would send cops to schools and they would teach, not to do drugs and don't do drugs, and they would go every week, like once a week.
Oh, is
For
that what
like,
the dare thing was?
yeah, that's what. So she was some kid's teacher. I wonder like how old the kids were that she was teaching, and like I wonder how she was as a teacher. Like,
God,
she's all spazzing out. Like, oh my God, she looks like she's on drugs. This one, like, she's so wired all the time. So, and she's telling you not to do drugs. So, she's
God.
too much.
She's too much.
See?
I don't know the valley.
Oh, I'm sorry. The 405 and the 5. The 405. The 405 turns into the 5. The 118. They came down in the earthquake.
Okay.
So.
Okay. And you were saying when you went to see her, would you remember if it was at her house or at the place she worked at?
No, I'm thinking that it was probably, for some reason, I want to say that the hospital seemed that, if you say he got married in 85 or something, I'm thinking that, maybe the hospital was on my way to work in Hollywood. I mean, that's kind of sounding familiar.
Would you have gone on duty?
Oh no, I'm sure I wouldn't have. No, I'm pretty good about not doing stuff. I mean, no, I'm not saying that, you haven't done stuff on duty, but I would have. I mean, I would have been working with somebody.
Oh, yeah.
So I wouldn't think. I mean, I try to avoid doing stuff on duty.
Oh,
so.
So you would have gone. It was en route to work. You more than likely would have gone to her work and had this discussion with her.
I mean, that's sounding familiar. I mean, that's now that you guys are bringing this stuff up. I mean, that sounds familiar. But again, I mean, what's this got to do with me dating him and her getting killed? I mean, I don't I don't have anything to do with it. And
yeah, so vague, Stephanie. Why am I being questioned about this? I've got nothing to do with this.
Yeah, not helpful at all. You're so inconvenient. You're like, this is such an inconvenience for me right now. Instead of trying to be helpful. Yeah, she's got it all wrong. She played it all wrong.
You got something that's somebody said, whatever. I mean,
Well, like we said, we just literally got this the other day, and you're going through it,
yeah.
and you see
And you saw me say,
your
oh,
name.
it's next door.
Right, and so, I mean, obviously, it's like we recognize the name, and we know that, you work next door to us, and so we're trying to get some background. We're trying to figure this out. I mean, this is from a long time ago.
Oh, I know. And
and things have been kind of slow for us, and so, Chief Beck has said, hey, I want you guys working. I don't want you just sitting around reading the paper.
Yeah.
So he's kind of pushing some older cases out even to the guys that work active cases because, and so we see this and we're just like, oh, well, we want to talk to you about it, but of course, the only reason we did it here is because we're getting into some pretty personal stuff in your relationship.
My husband's on the job, and we've been
so
married.
We don't want to take the risk. We don't want to take the risk when one of those interview rooms, and even when the door closed, someone's going to get supplies and sees us on a monitor or hears or whatever.
No, I appreciate it. I mean, I appreciate it. Like I said,
that's where people go when there's orals. When they're doing orals, guys will go in there and try and watch. Like, what are the answers to the questions?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So we just want to afford you the most privacy and confidentiality we could.
No, I appreciate it. Like I said, I mean, this goes way back, and I mean, it was very sad. Obviously, I haven't, when we were in college, some of us would go down to his house in San Diego. I went down to his house with him, with him. And I know I'm trying to think of some other people that may have gone down.
Is that where he grew up? Is down there?
Yeah, down in San Diego.
Oh, okay.
I know his dad was a professor at San Diego State. I don't know if he still is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened to his sister. Don't know what happened to his brother. I'm sure his dad's probably retired by now. He was, I think, older, even back then.
Right.
And I can't even tell you the last time I had any contact with any of them. It's been so long.
Did he tell you what happened? Like what he heard from the detectives or the police or?
You know what? He may have. For some reason, I'm thinking that, I mean, again, this is like drugs or something. I mean, I think I faintly remember him mentioning something maybe about cocaine.
That she was involved with that?
I don't know that he said she was involved or they thought she was. Again, it's been so long. He could have told me the whole story of what happened. And I mean, like I said, I'm faintly remember either between him or the flyer, that there was some kind of a burglary.
Let me ask you, did the detectives ever reach out to you?
No one's ever talked to me. I don't think anybody ever talked to me about him.
It seems like back then you would have been.
Well, I'm thinking that I did talk to a detective. God. Well, what division was it?
In Van Nuys?
And where was I working?
1986?
I would have been working in Devonshire. I'm thinking that I did speak to somebody.
Oh, really?
I couldn't tell you who it was.
Because it doesn't
He was
say
probably
anything.
on the phone.
Okay.
Would it have been somebody in regards to this or just?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I don't even know if you said a name if I would remember it. Because I worked Van Nuys for a while.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I worked...
Detectives patrol?
No, I worked detectives.
Uh-huh.
When did I go to Van Nuys? I worked Devonshire till 88.
Do you think she knows that she's fucked by now?
Yeah, she knows at this point that she's gonna have to go and call a lawyer.
Yeah.
I don't know why, right? Like, I don't know why she doesn't ask for it, other than she just doesn't want to look guilty for asking for a lawyer. But
it's like she just wants to get through it.
I think if they let her go, then she would have probably went and called a lawyer.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah, and I think for a minute there, she had some hope when she's like, yeah, it was really sad. And like I said, it was a million years ago or whatever she's going through. I think for a second, she thought it was going to be cool.
Yeah. They're giving her that, trying to give her, or
Yeah, like it's going to be
portraying that
ending.
impression that
Yeah.
this is a kind of casual sort of discussion because you're kind of linked to this, but we're just joining up the dots. That's all what's
Yeah.
happening here.
Right before lunch. You know, she hasn't had her breakfast yet. She's gross.
Then I went to Dare till 92. I worked twice at Van Nuys.
Both as a detective.
Yeah. Sometime in the 90s. Yeah, I know before I busted my leg up, I was there in 98 because that year sticks out because I had a really bad leg injury. And I was there prior to that, but I couldn't tell you what year. It was just a few years. I made detective, I think, in 93. So I was at Van Nuys, and then I went back, and then I had a leg injury, and then they transferred me to Devonshire because I couldn't drive.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't drive very far with my bad leg injury. So, but yeah, I think I talked to somebody.
Would you remember any of the conversation as far as what they were looking for? Or?
Couldn't say. I mean, they may have told me. I said, hey, you know, I went to school with him. Either somebody called me or I saw the fly. I may have seen the flyer at that point, and I called up. If someone's name was on the flyer, I may have called to speak to them. I said, hey, if there's anything I can do, you know, call me. This is where I work. You know, I went to school with them.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't say. I couldn't tell you who it was.
But you do remember that someone you think reached out to you?
You mean the detective?
Yeah, called you up and talked to you.
Or I called them, one of the two. But yeah, I remember talking to somebody, but I'm thinking it was a man. I'm sure there's probably more men back then.
Yeah,
right.
So again, that's really all I can remember about that.
Yeah. Let me get back to as far as when you said that John was calling you to see you, and during that time you felt that he was either seeing her, was he engaged or married? Did you know?
Couldn't say.
You don't remember?
I don't know. Let's see. My husband.
Did it ever appear?
Well, no, that would have been Scott moved in '93, so that would have been, you said 86 or 85 or something.
Scott's your only husband? You've never been married?
No, never been married. I got married in, I think, 96. Well, no, I know I got married in 96, but he moved in 93.
Mm-hmm. But during that time that you were seeing John, was he acting kind of squirrely or kind of sneaking around when he'd hook up with you or anything like that to make you think, hey,
Well, he probably was. I mean,
because from the impression I get is you've known him a long time.
Well, let's see.
From what?
I met him in '78. No, I met him in school. I started UCLA in '78.
So you know him well during that period of time.
Yeah, I mean, was he acting squirrely? I don't even remember where he was living then.
Well, after.
I don't.
Well, let me ask you. After he hooked up with.
I mean, if he was living on Roscoe or wherever else he was living.
Right.
Well, after he hooked up with Sherry, do you know where they were living?
No, you asked me that already.
Uh-huh.
And I said, well, obviously they were living in Van Nuys division.
Yeah.
I may have known.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, did he ever give me the address? Maybe. I don't remember. I mean, I don't know.
Because the only reason I'm asking you again is because as we've been talking, I know some stuff has come to you because you're like, oh, it seems like you're So that's why I'm asking if you've ever been to the house.
And when you said Van Nuys division, I'm sure he could have told me. I mean, he could have told me. He could have told me where he lived.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever have gone there?
I don't think I've ever gone there. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to say, no, I've never gone there. And then you say, oh, I was at a party. because I don't, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like I said, we've got these friends, we have parties, my house, their house. I just don't think John ever.
She's thinking what they have on her at this point, right?
Yeah.
She's kind of sussing out that they have some kind of evidence that she's involved in this, and
Yeah.
she's trying to like kind of preempt it.
Especially when she says, you asked me that already. I think that's when
Yeah.
she starts sounding a little more like, oh, okay. Like she sounds a little more irritated now, but not like she sounded already irritated to begin with, but like more inconvenienced. And now it's like I think
Yeah.
she's like you said, she's getting a little more smart. Like she's really
Yeah.
she's annoying. How is she still
She's
not doing
trying
it?
her best to get it together, but it's
Yeah,
not working.
she thinks she's gonna get away with it. So like it's a million years ago. They should just drop it. Like she forgot, Of course you forgot,
It's a
but she
million years
remembers
ago.
right. But she remembers so many things. Like she remembers way too many details, and then pretends like she
Yeah.
doesn't. So
Came to again, at one point, because we knew people from school together. I knew different people. He knew different people. I knew people that he knew from his work, that lived in the valley.
So as far as for social events or
Excuse
anything,
me.
I mean,
No problem.
you're not sure if you ever been to the house because.
But it's safe to say that would have been the only time, like for something social.
Yeah, if I went there for something social, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
because I know you went to talk to her at the hospital regarding this issue with John, to kind of like, hey, what's going to happen here with this thing? But would this ever have followed up to her house when you went to talk to her to say, hey, you know what?
I don't even know that I knew where they lived. That's what I'm saying. I don't. If I knew where they lived and I'd been there, if it was for something social, I would. And I can't see how many times I saw her face to face. He lived on Roscoe. Did I ever see her there? I don't know. I mean, I may have seen her at his apartment on Roscoe.
Mm-hmm.
I may have met her there. I mean.
But you didn't have any issues with her, right?
No, I mean, obviously, if he was dating me and dating her, I probably said, "Hey, pick," or something.
Fair.
Back
That's
then.
fair.
I can't say that we ever screamed or it's. I mean, he was a pretty mellow guy. I think I was pretty mellow. I don't think we had some big, huge blow up to say, why we stopped dating or and I even think that when I was dating him, I was probably, like I said, I was probably going out with other guys and he was probably going out with other girls.
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, would you remember if she snapped on you and just like, hey man, it's my man, you leave him alone, blah, 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 that kind of stuff? Would you remember an incident like that? I mean, because that would be like, what?
Well, and maybe that happened. I mean, gosh, it's been so long ago. I mean, that's not ringing a bell.
Mm-hmm. Because the times I've seen you around at our office,
I'm crazy.
But you're always kind of like real. I mean, you seem kind of bubbly.
Oh, people think I'm really hyper. But I can get upset, and then I forget 5 seconds later. How guys razz you and you go, I mean, I've done that in the office, but it's like, and then I'm, I mean, people
Water
think,
under the bridge.
yeah, I mean, it's like people think I'm crazy, and then they think I'm crazy at home, and I'm a hyper person at work. I enjoy my job. I get excited. I enjoy the job. I've always enjoyed the job.
You got a good gig, so.
I don't know. It's like I said, this stuff's been so long ago. I'm sure as soon as I walk out here, I'll go, oh shoot, 25 things I'll remember. You know.
But she'll call us, or I mean, you'll just come over to our desk
Yeah,
and tell
I mean,
us.
I don't know what else you need to know. Like I said, you know, we knew friends together. A lot of the friends that, you know, that we socialized in the dorms, I would say, I mean, there was a group of us that we were all really close. I mean, even this one guy I was thinking of, you know, Diana Basta. We were all really close. I haven't talked to her in a million years.
Diana Basta being a friend of you and John's, or?
Yeah, we all lived on the dorms together. I don't know if she lived on the same. I'm trying to think. I know John lived on our floor because his roommate was Dave Newman. Dave Newman now is a huge, big shot, whatever.
She still thinks at this point she's walking out of here, doesn't she?
Yeah, they did a really good job when he's like, oh, you know, but you'll come over to our desk if you think about it, you know, if you have any. And then I think that gave her a little more confidence.
Totally,
that she's getting out of that.
They know fine well that she's getting arrested at the end of this interview, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, come on. So that's still it's still a little odd to me that they got away with this without reading her rights, just based off of like they're gonna talk as colleagues over a case, like.
Yeah.
But it's good they did because she for sure wouldn't have talked as much as she did if they had just came in and read her rights. She would have been like, well, I got to get a lawyer, you know, and out.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how that can be just because they're cops when she's a suspect. But I guess they got away with it. So that's good. I mean, I'm not complaining.
Seems to have done. Yeah. I mean, it's, yeah.
We got this great video because of it.
We got this great video because of it. Exactly.
Yeah. Because she would have
Let's
just
continue.
Movie producer, director, something, I don't know.
And that was John's roommate?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
okay.
then the guys that lived across from me, Jim Jaskell and Roy Sakaboo, something like that. They lived across from me. Diana Basta, I don't know if she lived on our floor. Maybe she was the RA. Diane Sherman, because I still remain friends with Diane Sherman. Not that I'm not friends with the other people, I just don't see them. A gal named Smita, Sally, Kathleen, you know, so we were all on the floor. I mean, some of them were athletes, some of them weren't. You know, I said John played basketball, his brother played basketball, I played basketball at UCLA for 2 years. One of the girls swam on the team, one was on the crew team. So we all did stuff together. And then I'd say after we all graduated, we went to weddings. You know, I went to weddings.
But Sherry wasn't part of this circle.
No, I don't even know how he met her. I don't even know where. I mean, I don't know where he met her from. I don't even know. He told me where he met her from. I mean, he may have told me. You know, that's not ringing a bell. And there was lots. I mean, you know, there was other people that knew other people. You know, that were friends of everybody's. You know. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you.
Well, one of the concerns I had is looking at some of the notes is some of Sherry's friends said that you and her were having a problem because of the John situation.
Well, number one, I don't know who her friends are.
Like her face, she makes the craziest faces.
Oh, she's just hating the words that are coming towards her right now. She cannot believe it.
Look at her face. Oh my gosh. She's just man, I would be so tired if I used that much energy just on my face. Like after an hour, I'd be really tired.
She's trying so hard to make it sound so preposterous that these friends have made this suggestion, you know?
Yeah. When she knows she made scenes, she made public scenes all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, it's all over. Oh my God. That's for the lawyer, stupid.
Because again, I don't recall if he did tell me where he met her. I don't know even who these friends are. A problem. Like I said, if I spoke to her, I mean, I'll go on as far as a limb, and I don't even want to say I spoke to her 5 times because that's probably not even true. I can't even remember. Again, did I meet him at her place when he lived on Roscoe for I think quite a while, but I couldn't tell you how long he lived on Roscoe. And the only reason I remember the place now is because it's like a huge dope place now where they, it may have been back then, but maybe we didn't know back then. I could have met her there. I could have, I don't even know that I met any of their friends. I can't say that. I don't know that that's a true statement.
Well, that's what I'm reading is that you guys have problems with each other and words are being exchanged, and it's all relating to John.
You know what? I can't say.
You can't say.
No, that doesn't even ring a bell. I mean,
it seemed like you would recall something if somebody's going off on you, right?
I would think. I would think.
Yeah, because it's.
But that
Because it seems like your relationship with John was kind of. You've known each other for a lot of years.
Yeah, it was just kind of. It was like.
But it doesn't seem to me, from what you tell me.
We were never engaged. It wasn't like we were planning to get married. It was like it was. I don't know how to describe it.
Would you say there wasn't a lot of drama in this relationship?
Oh no, I don't think there was drama.
Okay.
Yeah,
so that's why I'm asking, as far as what the friends are saying in regards to this, the problems that they're saying you were having with Sherry. It seems like the relationship is just going on an even plane.
That just I don't have the recollection of that at all.
No. And because from what you're telling me is when you guys met at the hospital, you guys talked, but it wasn't, from what you recall, confrontational from either side.
I'm trying to turn my memory back, and I'm trying. I can't even picture the conversation. I can't even picture the conversation.
Well, let me ask you. At the hospital, it never got to the point where people were going, hey, everybody go to your own corner type of thing.
I don't think so.
Nothing like that.
I don't think so. I really don't. If you say people said that, that's not ringing a bell to me at all. It's not. That's not ringing a bell to me at all.
Was there ever a time when you and Sherry were talking and John had to maybe go like, hey, you guys relax, or anything like that?
I think so.
About, ever going to her house and having a dispute like that?
If I met her ever at his apartment, maybe. Maybe we could have met I could have met at her apartment. I'm thinking that the hospital thing, that sounds familiar, that I met her there. I just can't say that I've ever, again, was I there with other people? I don't know. I don't think I ever met her there or him there, meaning one or the other. I don't think so. I can't. I don't think so.
Because I know the way my wife is. At our house, she wouldn't want my own girlfriends there, So I don't know if maybe she had the same mentality towards you, as far as you ever being there, or being welcome there, because it's.
You know what? If somebody said I was there when they were there, then that's possible. Mm-hmm. But I don't recall. I don't think so. It's not sounding familiar.
Yeah, because I guess basically what I'm asking is, were you ever welcome to the house? Like, hey.
Oh, come over?
Yeah, come on over. We're having a barbecue, a dinner party, Christmas party, whatever.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think. Like I said, because there were so many of us that the 2 Dianes, Jim Jaskell, Roy, Smita, this gal Smita, another friend of ours, Beth. She it seems like everybody I know is passing away. She passed away. She was a child diabetic and got very ill. We would all socialize. Like I said, I don't think John ever. It's hard. I don't want to say he never socialized with us. It's been. I'd have to almost go back and look at pictures, because I take pictures. I usually when I go to functions, I have 10,000 pictures. Okay, I'm a picture nut.
Mhm. Let me ask, when you were seeing John, would you, I take it he would pick you up in his car, you go in her, your car, things of that nature, when you guys would go out?
Yeah, I mean.
Do you remember what he drove?
Well, I know at one time he drove either a 240 or 260Z.
Any other cars that stand out in your mind?
This is my favorite part. This is my
No,
favorite
yeah.
part.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
so my favorite part. When she, like, what is she thinking about?
She just wants to swallow herself.
This gets super creepy right here.
I don't know how long you drove that 240 or 260Z for. And the only reason I say that is because I think I may have a picture of it with him in it.
What kind of car did you have back then?
Let's see. What year?
Or are you like one of those young cops that's like, oh, I got a paycheck and bought a new car?
Oh, no. I've only had like a few cars in my whole life.
So what'd you have when you came on the job?
Okay, well, my first car was a 68 Chevelle. 68 Chevelle.
Oh, they bring up the gun here. So.
And then I had a Toyota, some kind of a Toyota hatchback, but I forget what the name of it was.
Like a Corolla or Tercel or something like that.
Tercel.
Yeah.
And then I had my truck.
Did you ever have any problems with your cars?
Like what?
Just anything in general, car wrecks, anything stolen.
Yeah. No, my car's never been stolen. Oh, no, crashed, hit and run. My Tercel was hit and run. Again, I got pictures of the hit and runs. And I don't think any of my cars had ever been stolen. No. My cars haven't been stolen. Broken into.
None of that, huh?
Oh yeah, my cars have been broken into. But no cars have ever been stolen.
Mm-hmm. How long? Well, tell me about this car getting broken into.
Well, my car has been broken into several times.
Oh, really? Did you ever lose anything? Or?
Yeah. Now that you mention it, let's see. I had a gun that was stolen.
Mm-hmm.
I had other stuff that was stolen.
Not your duty gun, was it?
No.
Oh, that's good. Was it ever recovered?
I don't know. No, I don't think so. Not that I know of.
Never been notified?
No. Car's been broken into, several times.
Where did that happen when your gun was taken?
Mm-hmm. Trying to remember. I'm sure you guys must know. Because my car was broken into in Ventura. I think in Santa Monica. I have relatives that live in Santa Monica and Venice.
Who lives there?
My uncle. Well, I had several uncles. Could have been Santa Monica, Venice. My car's been broken into in Ventura before. So.
Is your mom still around, or?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Your dad?
Yeah, but I don't really have much of a relationship with my dad. So I couldn't tell you where he lives if you want to know.
Oh, really?
No. Yeah, couldn't tell you.
Well, like I said, as we were looking at the case, and we had read the notes as far as from Sherry's friend saying you guys had problems or words, and they got heated. The reason we're asking you is they had mentioned that an incident at her work had occurred, and they've also told us that an incident at her house occurred.
You know what?
And this is at her house during the period of time that they're married.
That's just not sounding familiar at all. I mean, you know what? That's just not sound.
This is when it starts to heat up, when they actually show her some of their cards, right?
Yeah. And she had reported her gun stolen to the Santa Monica police 2 weeks before the murder.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Come back.
she thought she was clear.
Again, if someone says that I was at her house and I had an incident with her, that just doesn't sound. Was John there? Did John say this happened? And other people were there. I don't recall. I mean, it just doesn't sound, familiar.
And this is an incident where you showed up. You weren't supposed to show up, and things got heated.
At his house?
Yeah.
That just doesn't sound familiar. I mean, no. It's not sounding familiar.
So
not at all.
Now you're saying not familiar because it's just something you remember, or it's just.
You know what? I'd have to say I don't remember, because I don't remember. That doesn't sound familiar. I
mean, would you remember something like that in your life?
Well, I would think, but
sort of drama involving, the other woman type of thing.
Did you ever fight with her?
You mean like we fought?
Yeah. Did you ever duke it out with her?
No, I don't think so. I mean,
you'd remember that, right? That would be pretty.
Yeah, I would think so. I
mean,
specific.
I would think
like
so.
I said, I mean, obviously.
I don't know. I forgot.
I mean, it just doesn't sound familiar. I mean, what are they saying? So I fought with her. So now I getting the jump, the lead. Excuse me, I haven't eaten. They're saying, okay, I fought with her, so I must have killed her. I mean, come on. I mean, that's, I don't even know who these people are. I can't even say I met any of these people. I mean, it's insane.
That's the first time she actually acknowledges what's going on here, right?
Yeah.
She actually says, so people think I killed her? She actually emphasizes the point.
And keeps going. And she says exactly what she did and makes it sound like, why would I do that? Like, she says exactly what she did. Yeah. We got in a fight, so I killed her.
Yeah. Why would I do that?
You totally did.
If it happened, I honestly don't remember it. That's all I can tell you. I mean,
but I don't know. I mean, would it be something you would remember? I mean, because I don't know if any other intense incidents in your life that have occurred. I mean, you'd recall those, right? I mean,
well,
like a use of force at work or car crash, something you're involved in, you'd be like, yeah, I remember.
You would think I would remember. I mean, I would think if it was something that crazy. I mean, I can't say. You say, how many fights have you gotten into? In your life. I mean, a few at work.
Well, fights at work are kind of different because we've all had uses of force or whatever. But
well, I didn't even have a lot of those. I mean,
right, but if you're actually,
I mean, I played.
Like if Dan and I got mad at each other and we threw blows in the squad room, I mean, 20 years later, I would remember it. I mean,
I would think I would remember it, but that's what I'm saying. That's not sounding familiar to me at all. I mean,
let me ask you. I mean, throughout your life, would you remember the number of fights you've been involved in? And I don't mean kind of like a bump or something, just a physical fight where everybody's hitting each other, scratching, pulling, whatever.
Maybe. I mean, I can't say I've been in a lot. I played sports.
Yeah.
You get into scuffles there, and.
Mm-hmm. And you recall some of those, right? I mean, just.
Yeah, I can recall some of them.
Games get intense.
But like I said, you saying this is just not ringing a bell.
Nothing.
I mean, but I don't know what to tell you. It's just that's just not ringing a bell to me.
It'd be something.
I would think I would remember.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you're in this,
I would think so too.
If you're in this other girl's house and words are exchanged, I mean, you figure you recall.
I would think.
Especially if it got physical, right?
Well, I would think.
And it's relating to, a guy that you were dating, but she's dating now, and it's just kind of like a whole love triangle type of thing. I mean, you figure you remember that, right?
Well, I would think.
So,
mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. No, because I'm looking at the notes, and these people are kind of, they're pointing the finger at you.
Well,
And
I mean, that's not ringing a bell to me. So, I don't know. It's I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that just sounds crazy to me.
Yeah. So you offhand, you don't recall ever going into her house and having words and physically,
No,
attacking her attacking you.
No.
Nothing like that.
No, I mean no.
Nothing.
No, not at all.
Okay. Well, on some of the on this case, this occurred in '86, right? Detectives processed the scene, things of that nature. They did fingerprints and all that stuff. The standard stuff. I mean, you've been doing this longer than I have.
Well, not about that. I got 26 years on, going on 26.
19. So, but as they processed everything, they did the best they could at that time, and they looked at a lot of people and different things in this case. And you're right.
I mean, if you guys are claiming that I'm a suspect, then I got a problem with that.
Okay.
Okay. So, if you're doing this as an interrogation, you're saying, hey, I'm a suspect. Well, now I got a problem with, now you're accusing me of this. Is that what you're saying?
We're trying to figure out what happened, Stephanie.
Well, I'm just saying, do I need to get a lawyer if you're accusing me of this?
You don't have to. I mean, you're here of your own free will. I mean,
no. I know, but
you're not under arrest. You can walk out.
You can leave whenever you like.
Well, but I'm trying to give you some background of how I knew him, and now you're telling me that somebody's saying that we had this big old fight, and I don't even know what you're talking about. And I don't want to get in trouble for something that I didn't even do, or you're saying I did something.
Okay.
We understand.
I mean, how would you guys like it if the tables were turned on you?
I understand. No.
No, that's what we're telling you. I mean, you're free to go whenever you want. If this makes you uncomfortable and you want to,
now you're starting to make me uncomfortable.
The thing is, I mean, detectives did what they could at that time on the crime scene. Okay, and the burglary thing you're talking about, that is an angle that they looked at. But now we're looking at everything else on the case because nobody was ever arrested on the case.
I don't know that or not.
Okay. Now, what we'd like to do is, obviously, about all the DNA stuff and things of the nature that, gets done on cases nowadays. If we asked you for a DNA swab, would you be willing to give us one?
Maybe. Because now
because
now I'm thinking I probably need to talk to a lawyer.
Okay.
I mean,
well,
because I know how this stuff works. Okay, don't get me wrong. You're right. I have been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
The way she says maybe.
Yeah. It's just like, no.
It's so obvious.
Yeah.
She knows she's banged to rights.
And that's a big thing that her lawyer was saying, that the DNA was wrong.
Oh, really?
But, yeah, they try to say that. It was incorrect.
And I wish I had been recording this because now it sounds like, there's, you're telling these people say I'm fighting with her, and now it sounds like you're trying to, I've been doing this a long time.
Yeah,
we know.
Okay. And now it almost sounds like you're trying to pin something on me.
No,
now I got that sense.
Well, what it gets to on these cases, and you know it as well as I do, our job is to identify and eliminate suspects.
I can't believe this.
So if we ask you to point to give us a DNA sample, a buccal swab, so we can identify or eliminate you, would you be willing to do that?
Maybe. Because I know this.
Well, that's where we're at too. I mean, because right now, from looking at the evidence, it's it's possible we may have some DNA at the location.
That's great.
And we're going to do what we can to try to put this thing together. And your name's in the book. These people are pointing at you for whatever reason.
I don't know why. That's just crazy. I mean, that's absolutely crazy.
And it would be irresponsible on our part not to look at it.
I know. You guys have to do your job, and I guess I'm gonna have to contact somebody. So
that's fair.
I mean, because I know how this stuff works. I mean, I just can't believe it.
I mean, we understand that. I mean, if we were in your position, I mean, we would feel the same way.
I just can't even believe it. I mean, it's just, I mean, I'm shocked. I'm really shocked that somebody would be saying that I did this. I mean, we had a fight, and so I went and killed her. I mean, come on.
Well,
that's...
Okay. All right.
Well, thanks for giving me the courtesy. I wish I recorded it.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Stephanie. Take care.
All right.
She's bitching about how she didn't tape record it. I wish I tape recorded it.
Yeah, it's all recorded, Stephanie.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, she's been arrested in the corridor there, and she comes back.
It's funny they just bring her back just to give her rights and then leave
Yeah.
for the camera.
This is absolutely crazy.
Let's see, Stephanie.
This is insane.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay. Stephanie, you know you have the right to remain silent. Do you understand?
Yes,
Anything you say may be used against you in court. Do you understand?
yes,
You have the right to the presence of an attorney before and during any questioning. Do you understand?
yes.
If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you free of charge before any questioning if you want. Do you understand?
Yes.
You want to talk to us right now?
No.
All right.
Okay.
This
Then.
is crazy.
Okay.
This is absolutely... I'm like in shock. I'm totally in shock.
Shocking.
Shocking. Okay, so this is the transcript that is covers what was said afterwards. Let me just zoom in on this. Okay.
Detective Stern.
This is crazy. This is insane.
He's gonna bring her back in.
Yeah, Stephanie, you're under arrest for Sherry's murder, okay? And we have your DNA. You guys are nuts. This is crazy. No, I left my... You guys, I... Take your keys out. Just my camera. That's my phone.
Okay. Anything else in your pocket? Spread your legs, please. She's like, what the heck? Just my
Your
knee brace.
knee brace.
Am I on camera or something? This is insane.
Yeah,
She's so crazy, man.
she's trying so hard to make this kind of seem like this is so weird. How is this happening to me?
Oh,
Detective Stern says, do Miranda. This is
This is
absolutely
nuts.
crazy. Have a seat, Stephanie. This is insane. Okay, give me 1 second. you have the right to remain silent.
Oh, that was all out there. Okay, that was all outside the room
Yeah,
when they
yeah,
were doing that, and then this is when they come back in.
yeah. You have the right to the presence of an attorney.
There she is when she's leaving. Okay, just go over there.
Can somebody tell me where my partner is?
Is she talking about her husband or is she talking about her partner?
Yeah, you were telling me that her husband worked in law enforcement as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, that's what
I
she
didn't
means when
realize
she's
that.
like, my husband's on the job or whatever, when she says
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
it's gross. Good for her to find a husband, though. You don't have anything in your left pocket,
pocket.
right, Stephanie?
I think there's some papers.
It's just some papers. It's just it's just go ahead and what does he say? I don't know. Who cares? Like they go and oh, that's the unidentified speaker. Yeah, I don't know. They get into like how she hurt her leg a little more, and then this is just all while they're waiting to like have her transported. And the part with the ring where she's gonna spit on her ring is gross. Just like Stephanie. Yeah.
Yeah, you want me to take your watch off? They're going to take off anyway. Property bag. Well, just put it in here.
We'll sit down. We'll watch.
Go ahead and grab her ring to.
Oh, geez, see if I can get it off. Oh, see, I'm going to probably have to lick my finger.
Ah!
Get some soap, woman. Lotion, anything else. You don't have to use spit.
I've got a necklace on too. I don't think I can get the ring off. You never take this necklace off, huh? Occasionally.
See, he doesn't
Just
want
be on the
ring.
ring.
They don't want it. Nothing on the ring. No, I need a little spit.
What's happened to your knee? I tore my ACL.
It's just weird that they have like weird conversations in the middle
Yeah,
of
like in a casual talk.
Who's your doctor? What did you hear out of Encinos?
Yeah, let's just have some casual talk as we're processing the end of your life right now.
Yeah, stripping your wedding ring. Your identity, you're just taking it all away.
How
You know what
long
happened?
did you rehab? A long time. Oh, that sucks. Lombardo, he was the knee doctor. This is fascinating to read.
Were you the first one of the day? Yeah, I don't even remember when it was. Yeah, I would have been like, whatever, I'm not talking. So you know, and it's gonna rain like a couple days before, right? You know what?
You know what? No, not really. Really? I don't think so.
I'm sorry. It's just odd. It's so odd. This is just, I guess, unidentified speaker is the guy in charge of taking everything away.
Yeah.
He doesn't even get a name.
Can you coordinate? Did you tell them what your status is? You work in RHD now. Huh? Yeah? Okay. I always see you guys. I just she's still trying to kind of connect with them, right?
Yeah. It's like pop talk.
Yeah.
I always see you guys. So that means she never says hi. Like, she's so rude. She's so cool. Like,
we're going to be a while. Yeah. This could take a while, Stephanie.
and he's still talking. Yeah, I work way in the back, way behind, all the way in the back. By the copier.
They're still being so polite to her.
Like nothing happened.
Oh
Nothing's
my God.
happened. It's totally a normal day.
Look at this. Excuse me, I haven't eaten anything, so that's why I'm burping. You're a breakfast person.
I have to take a pill in the morning, so I can't eat anything for an hour.
Yeah, it's been a strange day, Stephanie. So I usually just come in and eat some yogurt in the office.
I'm not that much of a breakfast person, so it makes it hard when you have to eat something with medication in the morning,
Yeah.
I wish they put the burps in quotes so we know when she burps.
I have to take it empty.
You don't have to take anything for your knee, do you?
Well, I was going to say isn't there anything you can really take other than for the pain? Yep. It's just so swelled up. Advil. Did you come down wrong?
I just went to block a girl's shot and just hyperextended my leg, and it just snapped. And just snapped it. Whatever.
God, I'm impressed she's actually managing to still have this conversation when she knows she's absolutely fucked.
Yeah, because I would be so pissed. Well, I mean, I would be like, oh, I'm so stupid. I'd be pissed at myself. Like, how can you even be mad at these cops for doing their job? I'd be like, oh, I'm such an idiot. I wouldn't be thinking to have like Advil conversations.
Yeah, you would be a bit depressed, wouldn't you? Thinking that your life's now over.
Yeah, right. Oh, you work over there by the copier machine? Oh, I wish you let me call my husband though. This is like insane. This is totally insane.
This is insane. So insane that I am being connected to this.
Oh, look at this. Is
They
funny
still
how
have
they
your property.
see how they like start up the unidentified seeker.
Oh, this bit.
Saliva works wonders.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, they're still talking about getting her ring off. Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah.
We have all your jewelry now, right?
Is it raining? It is.
Is it raining? They're actually talking about the weather.
It sure is weird.
You know what time it is? Yeah,
7:46.
7:46, the end of your life.
Why did she care?
I know. God, that's so early, isn't it?
Yeah, they got her right away in the morning.
God, they nailed her so early.
Oh yeah, because they would have been like an hour. It's like an hour before, so they started like before 7. For sure.
Yeah, I mean that must have been about what 6:30 they were
Yeah.
started.
I don't know how you guys eat around here. Eat when you can.
Even when you can, I guess I should wave at the camera, right? This is really getting ridiculous. She's still trying to kind of play the absurdity of this.
Yeah.
This is so crazy.
Like
Like,
it's the stupidest
I
thing
can't
ever.
believe this is happening.
Even after they said we got your DNA. Come on. Like it's over. I just feel like, oh, it's over. Thanks. You had 26 years out there free. Don't bitch about it. Like,
Oh, she's complaining about not eating yet. Someone's stomach is growling.
Sounds like your stomach is growling. Oh, have you ever fallen on a train? No.
It's the detective here. Can I talk to him? Sure. She wants to talk to you. Hey, Stephanie. Do you guys have a warrant for this? Yes, we do. Can I see it? You may.
Since I don't have an attorney or anything.
1010 for the property that we took, and a copy of the arrest warrant will be in your. Can I have my glasses, please?
Yes, you may. Okay.
I
Let
just need
me
to
get
collect
this.
some hairs first, if I could. Basically, I am going to lay out a piece of paper.
Oh. Ew. They're getting her hair. Yeah.
This is interesting to read this because we've never seen this before, have we?
No.
This is all after the video ends.
Yeah, it's funny. Taking her hair. I'm sorry, I apologize.
Just
Yeah, I
look,
got a
I'm
lot. Ooh,
getting
they got a lot.
swabs from her.
Ew. Tiffany, we're getting ready to transport. Dun, dun, dun. Just gonna go. You have some kind of sweatshirt in here?
You have a jacket with that?
It doesn't matter. They're gonna take it away from her. She's gonna be wearing orange.
where am I going?
You're going down
You're
to the
going
women's
down.
club. Yeah.
You're going
It's-
downtown.
I call my
Can I call
husband.
husband
She
again?
knows. She knows when they're allowed to call. How many people did she arrest?
Yeah.
And isn't he like? Can't she just yell out for him when she's in it? It's right there in the building.
God, what a morning she had. Can you imagine like 10, 15 years thinking that you've gotten away with this horrendous murder and then it just plays out within
Yeah,
like an
you
hour.
thought you just think you're going to work.
Yeah,
That's it.
you know?
Yeah, I think about her kid. Like she didn't even get to say bye, and she didn't get on bail or anything. I think if they think you have committed first degree murder, you don't get bail at all in
Yeah.
California. So
No, you're right.
that was it. She was locked up from this moment on. It's over.
Her stomach must have just like it must have been like gone, right? As soon as
Yeah.
they brought up his name.
I think she still thought she was gonna walk out until like they're like,
Yeah.
oh, we
No,
already
you're right.
got your
Yeah.
DNA. Like it
Yeah.
was already tested. She was probably super shocked that they ever tested it. Like they don't even know. They already know it's her. She's going Century down off the 105.
Well, I was gonna say if he's gonna take I probably need some money or something. And my phone thing, because I told him to put everything in my bag, but maybe I don't.
She thinks they're gonna give her like special treatment with the
Yeah.
phone. They won't let you take the phone, but we can scratch it down for you, okay? Scratch down the numbers so she can call.
But we're all set. So if you could expedite that, that would be great. Okay. Thank you. All right. Yeah, as soon as we have it, I'll tell you what. I'll call you as soon as we've mounted up. Are you going to bring my backpack with me? Because there's some pills in my backpack.
What kind of medication? Oh yeah, that's what she says. She's got she had some kind of cancer, so thyroid cancer right there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I had thyroid cancer. So she has her thyroid cancer medication. That's what she says was making her burp. I think it was her nerves.
Yeah.
Let's do tomorrow. That's it. Da, da, da.
Dun, dun, dun. So that is the story of Stephanie Lazarus.
Crazy nut. I'm glad that her parents were. I'm glad that Sherry's parents were still alive when she got caught. That would have
Yeah,
been horrible if they had passed.
I agree. Actually, let me just play the her being convicted.
Lazarus. Shortly before noon, the jury announced they have a verdict. We will take the verdict at this time.
People of the State of California versus Stephanie Eileen Lazarus. Case number BA 357423. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Stephanie Eileen Lazarus, guilty of the crime of murder of Sherry Rasmussen in violation of Penal Code Section 187A, a felony, as charged in count 1 of the information. We further find the murder was of the first degree.
Your Honor, I'm John Rutten. Thank you for the opportunity to speak during this hearing. There are really no words that can describe the loss of Sherry and the whole of this experience, so it makes no sense to talk very long. It suffices to say that the Rasmussen family, my family, and Stephanie's family have been thrust into a bizarre world of disbelief and indescribable sadness. Sherry Rasmussen had a profound impact on so many people. And I was proud that she agreed to be my wife.
It was impossible not to notice Sherry when she entered a room. To me, her physical presence was startling. I can clearly remember the first moment I laid eyes on her. Sherry Rasmussen was a physical presence, and my heart still races when I look at pictures of her. But Sherry was extraordinary, more for who she was than the way she looked. She was a hard worker, a consummate professional, a leader, a diplomat, forgiving, tough, and a kid at heart. Sherry's loss, the way she died, and the trial 25 years after her death has had a profound impact on many, many others. The effects are broad and span a generation, creating pain for those whose lives should have never been touched by this tragic event. Again, words are feeble tools for describing these impacts, but there are so many moments and so very many tears. And the fact that Sherry's death occurred because she met and married me brings me to my knees.
Stephanie Lazarus was sentenced to 27 years to life for the murder of Sherry Rasmussen. She is currently being held inside the maximum security unit of the Central California Women's Facility.
Any other?
And she
All right,
still
Melanie.
hasn't admitted it either.
What's that?
She still hasn't admitted it.
I know. Yeah, that's what you want. You want to see her actually admit what she did, right?
Yeah, especially when he's going around like, "Oh, I found the Lord." You know how they do, but like it doesn't count unless you admit it. So,
Yeah.
I say, whatever.
Whatever.
Thank you. That was fun. I hope
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Let's. I've got a few other interrogations that I want to go through. That I think you might be interested in. So hopefully we can go through them as well at some point.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Be fun. Yeah.
Awesome.
That'll be fun. All right.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for joining me to go through the bizarre interrogation of Stephanie Lazarus.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you.
Oh, she's so pretty.
I know. Yeah, she was.
Is it off? Are we done? No, is this still going?